the analysis of my presentation, I have been adding Sri Lanka, we have to identify, we are a pivotal country. It is important to identify, are we a pivotal? Or are we a Sri Lanka buffer state to any other country or to a bloc? In terms of geopolitical, when it comes to location, maritime or economic, Sri Lanka is seam state. Is it a seam state or layer state to somebody? So these are the identifications for Sri Lanka. Some says in the recent past, after conclusion of the humanitarian operation, some says to denote the failed states. We being international responsible partners in the Sri Lanka, we are achieving and giving some example as a responsible state as a Sri Lanka. So therefore, having this analysis, Sri Lanka should align with the Western liberal economy or against the mindset of the Sri Lankan masses. The Sri Lankan masses, the rural area, believe the state actor is always its matter, rather than the other capitalist market. Should Sri Lanka avoid economic hegemony of liberal economic North Bloc or totally depend on the South? Should Sri Lanka reconcile between the economic policies between North-South Bloc or East-West? Should. These are the problems that we have to identify. So, ladies and gentlemen, in my study and research, I found one of the great book called 5 Pillars of Grand Strategy for U.S. Study. In that, they articulate for the U.S. strategy is they consider there are 5 grand strategies in naming liberalism, defeating U.S. homeland from attack, maritime favor, maintaining balance of power, punishing rogues, and investing in good governance. When you compare with the same philosophy to apply in the Sri Lankan context, we can say, yes, the existing policy of the Sri Lanka is mixed economic. We have a strong military power to maintain the Sri Lankan territorial integrity by the military, and the non-aligned democratic values, mindset to preserve entire nation. We've been succeed and mindset changing. We live in that we have to be maintained, we need to survive, we need to maintain our sovereignty in any cost. This is the mindset of entire Sri Lanka. And yes, and Sri Lanka do have the same line. If you take that, we also have the democratic values and franchise in votes and other. Just to recapitulate in my conclusion, I would like you to take back 623 BC, called Arthashastra, which is being articulated by a great scholar called Kautilya. In his that, he's articulate how to a country to survive in the periphery or whatever in the international domain, so that they've been identified as main core issues. It is to, if a country to center and the periphery or the allies or other to having the potential. Having same philosophy to Sri Lanka, we have been practicing the same concept. To finish my presentation, I would like to quote from the Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest, the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage the change. So we being Sri Lanka, we are in a golden time in the history of the Sri Lanka. Having 2000, as I said, the 2,500 years history, we are in a golden mileage to change our country's mindset. We being military, we have experience and believe in the prosperity, well-being of the country's people. So therefore, I would like to conclude, we will be having a better future forever, we succeeded in our country into a stronger position right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel, for your very, very stimulating presentation. And be sure about that it's not only the problem Sri Lanka facing, it's the problem of the whole smaller states or underdeveloped countries. Because in this global era, no nation state can actually perform or pursue its strategy alone. It has to be actually correlated. And while you talk about your interest, if you once you have made a comparison with the U.S. grand strategy and yours, you can see that these are totally two different. And while I was going through this aspect in last night, I saw that there is a shift in U.S. grand strategy also. What they had in 1988, that was literally shifted in Bush administration, and finally, the one which was published by Obama administration has changed the U.S. fundamental interest, noting down to only 4. For the time being, I am not going through all this in details, but they actually try to address security, prosperity, values, and international order. But if we actually consider ourselves, we'll never formulate a strategy where we'll try to actually attain an international order the way we want for, because it is beyond our capacity or capability. However, I am sure that the audience will be eager to ask a question to you, know much about it,